Hello and welcome to the Airgun Gear. No, sorry, that's your other big lad. Hey. Hello and welcome to Hunter's Vermin's Guide to making a rubber mulch pellet trap. Now, I'm not taking any credit for this idea. I actually got the inspiration from another YouTuber's video, and if I can find the video again, I'll put a link to it in the description box. But my idea basically follows him with a couple of other wee twists that I've added myself. But on further research on YouTube, there are plenty of other videos using this stuff here, rubber mulch or rubber chippings, or there's even a finer version called rubber crumbs, as backstops not only for air rifles but also for rimfire, centerfire pistols, revolvers and even centerfire rifles, though the full bore centerfire stuff usually is a lot bigger a container and using a lot more of this stuff to slow it down. But it is capable of doing it. So this is a 20 kg bag of rubber mulch. Now the cheapest place I could source this stuff was from eBay for £23 delivered to my door. Now that might seem expensive, but you can reuse this stuff over and over again. So what is rubber mulch? It's basically car tyres run through a shredder into chippings, bits and pieces of rubber. Now the other thing you need is a box, a container. Now this was out at home base. It's a 42 litre container and it cost me £8. That's basically what you need to make the backstop. Just make sure that when you buy a container, it's a good enough size for the bag of mulch you buy. On the website advertisement, this bag of mulch is advertised as 44 litres. So this being 42 litres, it should be a good compact fit. Now, the other bits and pieces weren't in the original video I got my inspiration from, but I've added them myself. One is a 3mm thick piece of plate steel. This is going to be my insurance basically, to make sure that no pellets pass through the back of the box. And the other is a rubber mat. Now this is like a soft rubber foam mat. The idea of this was to put on the face of the box so that once you start shooting into the face of this, as it will be sitting like that, that plastic is going to start to break up fairly quickly, and then the rubber mulch will start to spill out all over the place. Now you could put an old piece of carpet or a heavy piece of cardboard onto the face of this, and every time it starts to open up too much, just tape it up, put a new piece of carpet or cardboard onto it. But being a spongy foam rubber, I thought that it's very similar to those self-healing targets. So when the pellet punches a hole through this, it should close back up again. So I'm hoping that it will last longer than a piece of carpet or cardboard. But we'll see after we shoot into it for quite a while. Okay, time to get started. First off, I'm going to fit the 3mm plate to the bottom of the box. Now this was just a piece of scrap I found lying around the workshop that I've already cut to size and pre-bored the holes in each corner with a drill bit big enough to take a pot rivet. So all I have to do now is to continue those holes on through the bottom of the box, making sure all four of them line up. I couldn't honestly tell you what size of pot rivets I was using, as I had to search through various drawers to get enough to do the job. But you don't have to use pot rivets. You could use a small bolt, or just even the weight of the mulch itself might well keep the plate in place, as I had it cut fairly snug to fit the bottom of the box. Now for the difficult bit, to see whether or not I can get all this rubber mulch into the box without spilling it all over the workshop floor. Oops, there's some away already. Make sure you get it well packed in, and then fit the lid back on. Job done, he says confidently, without realising the mistake he's about to make, and that was with the rubber matting. Oh, by the way, this stuff might be soft and squidgy, but it's chuck stuff to cut with a Stanley knife. You see, nice and squidgy. Now, my original idea was to cut the matting to the outside dimensions of the box, then drill 2 holes down either side and using nylon ties or zip ties to attach the matting to the box. But when finished, I didn't like it at all. It just wasn't a good enough job. That's no good. Once you set it up on its end, it's not sitting tight to the box lid, so everything will fall out of it once the hole gets big enough. Need a last minute redesign. So then I measured the recess on the lid. Then recut the matting and even beveled the edges to help me get a better fit. Did I mention how chuck this stuff was to cut? Then applied some stripes of double-sided carpet tape. Which is a real pain in the butt to try and peel the backing off. Oh, come on, you awkward wee scurry. Anyway. Then set the foam matting in place and pushed it down into the tape. Then bored 2 holes, top and bottom. Then fed another 2 nylon or zip ties through the holes and tightened them up to make sure the matting wasn't going anywhere. Then I secured the lid to the box with more nylon ties, as there's a fair bit of pressure behind it and I didn't want it popping open at the wrong time. A pair of snips to tidy off the tails, and there you go, hey, the finished article, with the sound of rain bouncing off the workshop roof. That's a bit better looking now, hey. So, why the sudden interest in a pellet trap, you may ask? Well, if you do any tuning at your air rifle, or you want to set it up for a ballistic app, you need to know the velocity. You need a chronograph. And although I have one of the, I think it's an F1 chronograph, which works quite well, I've been having a lot of trouble with it in the very dull winter sun here in Northern Ireland. So when Giles from the Airgun Gear Show kindly lent me an FX chronograph which runs off a radar to have a test at, I decided I needed to build myself a pellet trap which I can use indoors where it's nice and dry and reasonably warm in the workshop. Now please don't ask me for a guide on how to tune the FX Crown. If you want that, ask the people who really know what they're doing, like Ted, or Matt Dubber, cause I don't know what I'm doing. Though I have found Meathead's guide to tuning his FAC .25 caliber crown very useful. Now this is after about 200 shots, and you can see the rubber matting is holding up quite well, even though the plastic box behind it has smashed into a big hole. Well, it's been a while since I've done one of these DIY videos, but I hope you all enjoyed it and find it useful. All the best to you, hey? Sounds like it's feeding time next door.